It's already at 230,000 miles.
230,000 miles? That's more than what usual
Camrys
cars
last
are.
lifetime.
Forever.
And if you take care of it, because that's what we've been doing.
Absolutely forever.
Yeah. Camrys are good cars. They're really reliable. You get a BMW. They're reliable too, but they'll destroy your wallet.
So before I continue this video, I just want to thank our sponsor, Circle Space. If you need a website because you just graduated art school and need to show your portfolio so hopefully you could get hired and pay off your student debt in the next 50 years. Alright, so this is the review of the Meike 25mm f1.8 lens for the Micro Four Thirds system, and here are the specs. You could pause the video if you want, because I'm gonna move on. Before talking about the characteristics of the lens, I want to talk about its competitors. The 7 Artisans 25mm f1.8. For some reason it comes with a pair of gloves and I don't know why. Fun fact, I actually had the 7 Artisans before I had the Meike lens, but I had to return it because when I attach a filter to the 7 Artisans, it tends to rattle even though I screwed it in all the way. So I returned that, bought the Meike, and I'm now as happy as a kid who got an iPad for Christmas because his parents are too lazy to spend time raising their kid. Yeah, that's really sad, and it's true because I see that everywhere when I go in public. We also got the Sunlight 22mm f1.8, the Lumix 25mm 1.7, Olympus 25mm f1.8, and the Sigma 30mm 1.4, which is a lens I also own. So why did I buy the Meike 25mm lens? Because it's cheap, boy! And because I'm really tired of the 9-to-5 job, so here's a Amazon affiliate link down below, please click on it. Did you know, because this lens is designed to cover up to a aps-c sized sensor, there are other available mounts such as the Canon EOS M mount, Sony E mount, Fujifilm X mount, and the Nikon 1 mount? Yeah, I don't think anyone is gonna buy that one.
Choose your character.
The camera body I use to film with the Meike lens is my trusty Lumix G85, and the footage you will see will be shot in 24 frames per second at 1080p. I still shoot in 1080p over 4K because I do not want to use my Chick-fil-A money on more external hard drives. Plus, movie trailers uploaded to YouTube these days are still in 1080p, such as Avengers Endgame, Detective Pikachu, Toy Story 4, It Chapter 2, Sonic. But before playing the test footage, here's some aesthetic B-roll of the lens. It took 7 Red Bulls to produce this video.
Why would we put it in a bowl? Kind of like that, but kind of, here's your body line, this range, right? Yeah. So if you move forward, say you want to punch, then this one slides back into the same exact, like, same exact move, man.
Yeah. Hey, Felicia, send me the other one though. Show me how you did that edit, or how you edit color grade it. Do you color grade Lightroom?
Hey, what's up y'all? It's your boy Flaccid Mad Lad here with a tutorial on how I color grade my footage. As you guys already know, this footage is taken with my Lumix G85, which was recently updated by the Lumix G95. And I will not be upgrading to it because of my Now first I want to adjust the contrast of the image by lifting up the shadows just a tiny bit, then lower the midtones and the highlights. Doing this will make the image look a bit less crunchy like consumer grade footage, but more atmospheric like a Tarantino film. If your image looks a little desaturated, then I would add some saturation to only the highlights. I typically do not add saturation to the shadows because doing so will make the image look less natural. Next, I apply a LUT, which stands for Look Up Table. This is basically a Instagram filter but with science.
Now, cosmology is that subset of astronomy that deals with the structure and evolution of the universe as a whole.
There are many different looks each LUT has, and you could download them by doing a quick Google search. Also, I find the LUT to be a bit too strong, so I lower... The fuck was that? Okay. Also, I find the LUT to be a little too strong, so I lowered the intensity. I then add a vignette. Darkening the corners of the image will draw the viewer's attention more to the center. And lastly, this is optional. I crop off the top and the bottom of the frame for that cinematic aspect ratio. So this doesn't feel as cinematic as I want it to be, so let's crop it a bit more. A little bit more, and we're good. Now here's before and after, and before and after. This right here is quality content. Thank you for watching my color grading tutorial, and here's a shout out to Tyler, the creator. So if you can't tell by now, there's a crap load of lens flares and I really like them. It really makes the lens feel like vintage glass, but I do not like my lens flares in my... So using a manual focus lens for photography feels like a break from autofocus. Naturally, I start focusing more on my framing when I manually focus the lens, as opposed to pointing and shooting with a autofocus lens. This is why I really like this lens. It's cheap, but most importantly, it really does force you to concentrate on your framing and your subject. So just buy the freaking lens already. I have an affiliate link down below. Please click on it and buy it through my link because I'm really broke. Alright, so to conclude this review, I do like the lens flares, but only in video. Although the depth of field ain't razor sharp, it's shallow enough. The bokeh or the out of focus blur is nice with a hint of swirl around the edges, which I do prefer. The lens ain't sharp, but it's far from being soft. The build quality is really good, all metal with a smooth focus and aperture ring, and lastly, it is cheap. That's pretty much it. Now I'm gonna go pee out all the Red Bull I drink.